Okay, welcome to Protecting Africa show. We gotta repeat. Welcome to Protecting Africa show. We got brother who again on the show.
Yeah, Fico.
Brother Fico, and I'm gonna be asking a few questions. Brother Fico wants to stay anonymous. He doesn't wanna be on camera, so that's fine. So, brother Fico, have you noticed that the people known as black are called as brown because our skin color is actually brown? Your skin color is brown. Everybody else looks brown. So have you noticed that there's a lot of poverty among the people known as black, what I call brown Africans? Have you noticed that there's a lot of poverty? What you think?
Yes, I have noticed that there's a lot of poverty in Africa continent, and it's us. Because
so you think the cause of poverty is people known as black people?
Yeah.
Okay. Now why are we causing a lot? Why are we the cause of poverty?
Yeah, we always blaming our previous leaders that our colonial masters that they caused the poverty, but it's us, because even for instance, many of us doesn't like to work. They like to steal from others, and our leaders also, some of them, they take the money and hoard it somewhere. It costs a lot, man. So we are the cause of our.
So you say we are the cause of our problem because of we like to steal, we don't like to work and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, do you see Africa as Africa or as Africa as Europe? Does Africa look like Europe, or does it look like Africa as far as the values that are dominant in the land are prevailing? Is it European values that are dominant in Africa, or is it African values that are dominant? Now let me rephrase it. Is it European interest that is dominant in Africa, or is it African interest that is dominant in Africa? What do you think?
Yeah, for instance, the Europe interest is dominate Africa because we do copyright a lot.
Now I'm saying the interest, the question, I'm not asking why. The question is, whose interest is dominant? Is European interest or African interest?
It's a European interest.
But if European interest is dominant over African interest, it means it is the European benefiting from Africa.
Yeah.
So it means a people that are thinking logical will not put the interest of other people above theirs.
Sometimes we, the Africans, we sell our conscience.
You said we are the cause of the problem because we steal, we don't work, and our leaders take money there. Yeah. But if you look at the order in Africa, you agree that it is the European interests that are dominant. It means everything is basically about European.
Yeah.
So if it's dominant, that means it is the European that are benefiting. And you know Europeans have a history of oppression in Africa.
Yeah.
So if the people that have a history of oppression maintain dominance, the interests, the colonial interests, these are not legitimate interests.
Yeah.
These are illegal interests. If the illegal interests maintain dominance in your home, it means these people are still dominating you. They still the boss in your home.
Yeah.
So in that case, you can't blame the frail Africans who have been reduced to worshipping European, because nobody will want to. Actually, we fought that order. We fought we fought Europeans sustaining the interest. It can't sustain by itself. You understand?
Yeah. Yes.
So the interest of European can be sustained by itself. They must sustain it. So if the interest is above our interest in our own home, and you know they are bombing everywhere in the world, and they are threatening, calling people tyrants, dictators, terrorists, you know that, right?
Yes, I do.
Everywhere they are bullying. You go to Syria, it's them. You go to Iraq, it's them. You go to Zimbabwe, it's them, calling Mugabe tyrant. You go to North Korea, it's them. You go to Russia, Venezuela, it's them, they were calling Chavez, whatever. Everywhere in the world is them. You go to Somalia, it's them. You go to everywhere you hear trouble, they are there. And these are the people that are now having the interests are dominant. Do you think it is us just putting the interest there, or is it them maintaining the interest? Because what will happen if you don't do their will? Will they watch you? People that are bombing everywhere in the world, Do you think they will watch us?
Sometimes we sell our conscience.
I mean, how do you say we sell our conscience? What do you mean?
Yeah, before they will do that, they will negotiate with you.
No, you are the robot. Do you know you are a robot of Europeans? Or we generally are a robot of Europeans?
Yes, I do.
So if we are a robot, it means we don't negotiate with them. They impose us their will. How are we robots?
They will give you. They will.
No,
give you
they don't give you nothing.
They will give you.
No, they tell you bow and you have to bow. You know how they do that?
What about if you refuse to bow?
You can't refuse because your brain only know what they put in your brain.
That is why I say they buy our conscience.
No, they don't buy.
That's why I say they buy our conscience.
No, they don't buy. Let me tell you. Do you understand that your brain function only with information?
Yeah.
Your brain will only believe and speak what it knows. Do you know that?
I know. I don't believe that.
Now I'm saying the brain only believe and speak what it knows.
Yeah.
But most of what we learn in our lifetime, the European put in our brains. When you go to school, everything you learn there is theirs who have written it. They have not written it to advance you. They have written it to condition our brains to bow, to see them as superior. That's why we generally see them as superior. You know that, right?
But you know God gives you your
do you know we generally view them as superior?
If you don't sell your conscience.
Just answer first. Do we generally view them as superior? The European. Do we generally view them as superior?
Yes, I do.
Do you think a people will just see another human beings out of their free will superior? It is the information we're getting in our brains. And because they supply most of what we learn in our lifetime, that is why we see them as superior. When you go to school, it is the information. When you open the media, it is the information. So because you only know what they put in your brain, you become the parrot. You do it unconsciously because you don't know that they're conditioning your brain. So the so-called the power, they call themselves superpower, not for nothing. Because they can make you a robot, a parrot, without you even being aware of it. So we are suppressed, contained, forced to bow. And when some wake up, they bomb you like they did Ivory Coast in 2011. And if you're a bit tough, they do you like Mugabe, they demonize you everywhere. Because they have the power, the media. They actually put things in our brains. So it means our condition
now
is...
you are changing the...
It means...
Yeah, Mugabe, they demonized him, but they couldn't buy his conscience.
Giving him information...
But you know that they couldn't buy Mugabe's conscience.
Okay, yeah. They could not buy, but you know what damages we have done to his reputation. And,
but he still didn't bow before them.
But do you know that some people could just easily kill him because they have demonized him too much. They have made him look like a devil. That means somebody who's not even connected with the secret services could kill him because they have incited hate against him. And plus they have attacked the economy of Zimbabwe. They have the World Bank and the IMF not for nothing. They have the world rely on the US dollar and the euro not for nothing.
Now you change the this thing, the interview. You change the interview.
You don't have to ask so many questions.
Yeah.
Now we are discussing. It's like a talk show if you want. Okay, sure. I told you. I think it's gonna be like a talk show. I told him. Yeah. It's like a talk show. So we're exchanging ideas. If you are unable to progress in your ideas or in your vision, or if you are going on the wrong path, so if I have better information, I supply it because this is like a talk. We're trying to find solution to problems, and all the information I provided, you have not rejected them. It shows it's accurate information because that is what it is. So you can't, because this is well researched. You can bring any professor, any engineer. You can't reject this. It's gonna have to tell me that most of what we learn is not them who put in our brains. And then if they are putting most of what we learn, they put for their own interest. Because if you see what the Chinese learn is different to what we learn or what they think. So I'm showing you that they make us bow. If you think the information is not correct, you can oppose it. You can say, no, I don't think, and you give the reason why you don't think. So we are slaves. Only those who have awakened like Mugabe, to a certain extent, gonna resist them. But lucky he has sustained them. But they have caused economic damage, political tension, hate against him. They have caused, and they associate his behavior to what they call his behavior to the whole Africa. You understand? They say, look at how you black people behave. You understand? Or look at how you black leaders behave. So that's what they have reduced us into. So the whole poverty is not even us on iota. Because if you tell, let's say if a country like Gabon produce oil, if you tell France, we want 50% of our oil, they're gonna tell that president you are going. And they're gonna make him go if he's not strong. Because why they're fighting Mugabe? Because Mugabe trying to take the land and its resources back to his people. So it means we are not free.
His people. Did I hear you say?
His people, yeah. Because he's the leader of a country, right? It is people. So this is the reality we're facing. So the illusion that it is our own fault, it is that even our behavior is shaped by them. You see our women putting plastic hair. Imagine people who got their own hair. Now they go to the extent of buying another hair.
That is why I say they sell their conscience. That is why I say they sell their conscience because the creator give you a hair when you are coming to this world. The creator give you a hair. And what about if you refuse to maintain your own hair and you buy a plastic hair? It means you have sold your conscience.
No, it means our women are unconscious. It is the media which, you know, the media in Africa is over beaming European.
No, it's copyright.
I'm saying
it's copyright.
Okay, but I'm saying, do you agree that the media in Africa is over beaming European images? It's overdoing it. So that can only influence the small Africans who are doing their life here. They don't know what is happening because they are not the people that are deciding what should be shown on TV. So they are under the influence of this. And when we speak about European interest, colonial interest being dominant in Africa, it includes their image, it includes their language, it includes their identity, it includes them supplying us information, it includes them owning our economy and natural resources. And remember, for Europeans to maintain dominance, they need to colonize your media because they need to colonize your brain. It means our TV being colonized by the image is not our own free will, it's them wanting it to be like that. Because without them reaching our brain, we can't comply. The only way they can make us feel like we're superior, it is that the information that they want us to have in our brains must get into our brains. It is the school and the media that does that. How would they demonize Mugabe or anybody who oppose the rule if they don't have dominance over your media?
Don't mention anybody's name.
If you talk
no,
too much,
in this one
we're supposed to go it point by point.
Okay, point by point.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you a proper point. But anyway, so do you still believe it is African women out of